This is the warm-up. Man, I hope everyone had a great New Year. Welcome to the warm-up. This is Designated Report's weekly NFL pregame show hosted by me, Jay. You can find me individually on Instagram at jdot.jpg and keep up with everything that Designated Report is doing. Man, we're off and running in 2021. Did you see what we posted? Did you see the socially distanced photo shoot that we had going? Oh, but the promo video was tough. The promo video was tough. Check that out if you haven't seen it on the feed. Designated Report, please. Also check us out at designatedreport.com and on the YouTube page where you can see all of the episodes of the warm-up. Week 1 through 17. So, week 17. Round 17, episode 17, and you hear what it is. Music from 17 years ago. What were you doing in 2003? Check in the chat. I see everybody coming through, filing in. We have so much to talk about. I hope we have time to fit everything in. What were you doing in 2003? I wasn't going out on Friday nights. I was staying in with my boys. My boys would come over. We would watch the And One mixtapes. 2003. 2003, the And One mixtapes. What were you doing? Let me know. Jump in the chat. So the Browns lost to the Jets last week. The same Jets who took down the Rams the week prior. My goodness. This has major implications for the Browns trying to get into the playoffs. But man, I think it says more about the Jets. The Jets are out here trying to save Adam Gase's job. What? What are you, Jets, baby? What is you doing? They went flip side on the whole season. Couldn't win a game and went 2 in a row on real squads. Sheesh. Listen, tanking is hard. Tanking is hard. Because the tank job is not done. The tank job is not done by the players. It's done by coaches and management, the front office. Tanking is hard. You're going to tell somebody that the dream that they had since they were 6 years old, been playing football all the way up, they finally get to this point, and the team has to lose games so they get a better pick to potentially replace you? If the team stinks, chat is live right now. If the team stinks, they're looking to upgrade the roster, the talent. So you're going to run at 3/4 speed and purposely drop balls and not play to your ability to help a team that would probably get rid of. Tanking is not done by players. These guys are out here trying to make money. The Jets, you think Frank Gore, who's rushed, congrats, 16,000 yards in this league and still trying to play. He's not going to play hard. These young guys are trying to stick. They're trying to make the money for this first contract and get a second contract. They're not going to play hard to help a team. What team? Nah. What I'm going to do is go out there and get mines. Remember the Titans. Woo! It's worth living one. Follow my guy. Nothing but positivity. People love the sweater. The merch is coming through. Mrs. Alcide. How are you? Congrats on the birth of young Kobe. Mrs. Alcide, thank you for checking in. Listen, here is how you tank. Here is the blueprint in tanking. In late 2014, the 2-win Buccaneers were leading the Saints 20-7 at halftime. They picked off Drew Brees 3 times, including twice in the end zone. You know what they did up 20-7? Rested the starters in the second half. It's the most egregious tank job in the modern NFL. Sean Payton knew it and he said it. Lovie Smith wouldn't say it. He was the coach of the Bucks at that time. They were in contention for the #1 spot with Tennessee. They pulled their starters. That's how you do it. But you really just got to care that nobody sees you out here doing that. And what was the prize for winning the #1 overall pick in that draft? It was the right to draft Jameis Winston. Who coincidentally is now on the Saints. The Browns were down wide receivers in that game. They lost to the Jets. But were they down DBs? Because that's what I was looking about. But speaking of the Browns being down wide receivers, which is reminiscent of the Broncos being down all their quarterbacks a couple weeks back, the Saints, which I just mentioned, down all of the running backs. Alvin Kamara tested positive. And all the rest of the guys in the running back room in close contact. So they're gone. Gone. Hey. Let J. Boo rock. Man, I like Jameis, but he's not on my team anymore. So, good luck to you with your $1 million contract. Nah, that was shade. I apologize. Back to the Saints. They have no running backs. Latavius Murray, Dwayne Washington, Michael Burton, all gone. So who's the running back today? Enter Ty Montgomery. Yes, that Ty Montgomery. Yes, that Ty Montgomery. Running back number 88, Ty Montgomery, formerly of the Packers. When the Packers needed some help in 2016 due to injuries, Ty Montgomery flipped from wide receiver to running back and was more than productive. He showed out. He averaged about 6 yards per carry on 77 carries. At 44 catches. You remember him in 88 in the backfield getting handoffs from Aaron Rodgers. In week 15 of that season, he rushed for 162 and 2 touchdowns. That was enough for the Packers to say, you know what? We're going to release James Starks. We're going to let Eddie Lacy's contract run out. Ty Montgomery's our starting halfback. It didn't really work out. He ended up on the Jets. What I didn't understand is now you're off the Packers, right? Why don't you go back to playing receiver and just say the versatility is why you should pick me up? But he went to the Jets, running back, number 88 again, and it didn't work out. Now he's on the Saints, where he's a special teamer and a receiver, and he's going to do the same thing he did a few years back, which is flip from receiver to ball carrier. So look for Ty Montgomery in the black and gold 88 taking handoffs, and let's see what he can do this week. What's up to the chat? Yep, I remember him. Lots of fumbles, though. Revisionist history, I admit. Which 10-win AFC team is not going to make the playoffs? Let me know. Which 10-win AFC team is not going to make the playoffs? Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, Tennessee, Indianapolis. Stacked. Talk about a log jam. Who's not making it? A lot is on the line today. And in the NFC, the Bears, the Rams, the Cardinals, there's only room for 2. Bears, Rams, Cardinals. Who you got? And who's going to win the NFC East? I love Week 17. Division games. You never know who's going to win. And so much rides on the win. They need it. Beautiful thing. Hey, Jared Goff is out today. He's getting surgery on his broken thumb, which he tried to reset in the game last week. The Rams, that are run by this genius, had no plan at backup quarterback, clearly. More shade. I apologize. They're trotting out, who the heck is John Wolford? Apologies to John's family. Who is John? Who is this? This is your starting quarterback with the playoffs on the line. This was your backup all this time? In a season of COVID, this was your backup all this time? John Wolford, listen. He's never played in a regular season NFL game. He's an AFL guy. He threw it around the yard, though. Listed at 5'11". Now he's listed at 6'1", which means he's probably 5'8". He was out of football in 2018 and was working in finance until the Jets called him up. And now he's going to play. So good luck to this man today. I hope he makes things interesting. I really do. And they say Jared Goff is going to be back next week. Thumb surgery on your throwing hand. Whatever. I trust it. Quick breaking news that's not so breaking. Carson Wentz wants out of Philly. But the added detail is that his relationship with head coach Doug Peterson is destroyed beyond repair. Here's what I think happened. And this is why it's coming out now. Because Philly put their confidence and their trust in Peterson beyond this year. They said he's not going anywhere. So now Carson's like, man, I was hoping he'd be out. I was going to lay kind of low. And I was going to compete with Hurts for this next coach. And now there's not going to be a next coach. So he's got to find his next team. Where's Carson Wentz going? Listen, I like Carson as a guy. He seems really cool. He seems really humble. Soldier of Christ. But I think he's been a big fish in a small pond his whole life. And I think Doug Peterson said something to him for the first time. He said, you stink. You stink. We're going to bench you. Think about where he's coming from. Think about where he played college ball. And he came to Philly and was killing stuff. I think this is the first time I think this is the first time he's facing this kind of adversity, and it doesn't look like he's handling it well. Get me out of here is what he's saying. So, where does he land? Chicago? I know somebody in the chat who thinks he's going to Chicago. Yep. He already said it. Should be a done deal. Yep. Las Vegas. Denver. Detroit. New England? Huh? I don't know. I don't think he goes to New England. Here's my theory. What's up, chat? Ooh. Dan Cassaz, thank you for checking in. Punny as always. They're going to let you go, Carson. This was my jam back in 03. Hey. Here's my theory on New England. Maybe the Patriots trade for Jimmy Garoppolo to get him back. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know it's embarrassing, but it's not embarrassing for Bill Belichick, who runs the show, more or less. He wanted Jimmy, remember? It was ownership that said, you got to trade this guy because we're not moving on from Tom Brady. Bill wanted Jimmy. And now that things are looking really bad, let's get Jimmy back. And here's why. You think Bill Belichick at 68 years old really cares about future assets? Trade everything. I got a year or two left. Me and Jimmy going to make a run at this thing. Cam is not working out. Got like a handful of touchdown passes. Give me Jimmy and let's jump this thing back off. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Give me Jimmy. I'll talk to the guys who opted out. Because remember, the team isn't trash just because they got all their guys and they're not performing. A lot of guys sat out. Let me get my dudes on defense back. Let me get Jimmy. And I'll do what I do. I'm Bill B. Let me cut the sleeves off this. Let me do what I do. Just give me the pieces. Give me some money to go shop for the groceries. And we can all eat again. Sidebar. What up, chat? Sidebar. I don't believe this BS about we maxed out for championships and that's why we can't win this year. Bro, come on, Bill. In 2004, you won a 10-year stretch without winning a championship. I didn't hear anything about, we maxed out to get 3 and 4 years. So I mean, what more do you want us to do? Nah. Because you had 8 division championships in those 10 years that you didn't win a championship. But now, the Bills and the Dolphins have jumped you. And now you're talking about, well, we don't have the horses. We can't get it done. I wish we had more. We did everything we could. We won the championships. That's BS. By Bill B. Anyway, Jimmy back to New England? Probably not, but I like it. How do you feel about that scenario? I like it. The Colts could be cooked. I mean, the Steelers were pretty bad the last month. And the Colts lost that game. The Steelers came back. Congrats. But Indy collapsed. Only 1 converted third down in the second half of last week. I don't think this is enough to say the Steelers got right. Steelers are fronting out here. I don't think it's enough to say the Steelers got right and they're going to roll again. Think about this. They haven't had a bye week because of that schedule. Had to be switched around because of the Ravens and all that. And that's probably why Big Ben is sitting today. He needs some time off, and hopefully resting him works out. Does resting starters even work? Remember the Colts and Peyton Manning started 14-0? And they rested them a little bit. They lost their final 2 games. Didn't win the championship that year. Aaron Rodgers, same thing. Rested him. A couple years later, and they didn't get the job done. Lost to the Giants in that playoff run. Or lack thereof. I think teams that are out of the playoffs, shout out to everybody still checking in. Much love out here. I think the teams that are out of the playoffs got to sit their guys. See what you got in young guys before the draft and the offseason, everything like that. See what you got. And you don't want to risk any injury. Happy belated National Haitian Independence Day, January 1st. Shout out to Wyclef. Much love to my Haitians. If you're not making the playoffs, you got to sit your guys. Because what if somebody important on your team gets hurt chasing stats or something like that? And it's a major injury. He's lost for all the next season. These knee injuries and things of that nature take a whole year to heal up. So you won't be ready till week 17 of next year? Or are you going to rush them back? Don't play your guys. Don't play your guys. Deshaun Watson, I love you, bro. Don't play your guys because you're trying to inspire some confidence. Or be safe, man. Be safe. Picks. Bucks versus the Falcons. I got the Bucks winning this one. They're putting up a franchise record 30 points per game. They're going to need those points because last year's sack champ, Shaq Barrett, is out because of close contact with COVID-19. Devin White is out because he tested positive for COVID-19. One of the best young linebackers in the league. And since he tested positive, he may also be out for next week's wild card game. This is huge. This is huge. This Atlanta team, 8 of their 11 losses have been one-score games, including last week to the Chiefs and the week before to this very Bucs team. They could win this game. Tampa needs it. I got them sneaking out, escaping this one with the win, and they move on to the 5 seed. Cowboys at Giants. Believe it or not, Dallas has won 7 straight games against the New York Giants. I didn't know that. Did you? It seems like this game is prime time. It doesn't matter who's good and who's bad. It's always a really good team. But Dallas, really good game, and Dallas has won 7 straight against this team. The stakes are high, and the winner wins the division if Washington loses in Sunday Night Football. Hot take. Zeke is going to show up today, and he's going to make it difficult for Jerry Jones to move on from him like he probably should in the offseason. Watch out for Zeke. Or do they rest him? Because they already know they want him back. And Tony Pollard gets the burn today. But if Tony gets the burn and looks really good, did Zeke play himself? Or did they play Zeke? And now they get rid of him because Tony killed it in week 17. I don't know. The Jets haven't won a road game against the Pats since 2008. Not 18, 2008. But this is a different Jets team. They're rolling. We talked about how players aren't tanking, and it's hard. It's hard to do so. But this is a Patriots team that's embarrassed Patriots Nation. We know the Cowboys fans can be unbearable at times, the most hated. But New England's not far behind. Patriots fans are terrible, but they've been very, very quiet this year. Patriots Nation, where you at? I like the Jets. R.I.P. to the Patriots dynasty. Vikings at Lions. Minnesota gets this one because Detroit's not very good. Minnesota's going to throw it all over Michigan today. Steelers are going to win at the Browns. I know this is going to be a good one. I know Big Ben's not playing. Mason Rudolph against the Browns. I still like the Steelers. Have they woken up? There's a really talented Browns team. They're always paper champions. They're always the dark horse. This year they actually put it together. But last week was not a good look. This is the biggest game. This is the biggest Browns game in 20 years. And because of that, I think they do Browns things. I got the Steelers. Ravens are going to win at the Bengals. Another road team I'm predicting gets the job done. The Ravens are just the better team. The Bills are elite, and they will win against the Dolphins. I'm not saying I trust Buffalo in the playoffs, but Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are going to be unstoppable, and Miami's going to go home. Rams over the Cardinals. The Cardinals are another team who had a good season. It's probably still going to be sent home. I know the Rams are starting a private equity analyst at quarterback. But think about their defense, and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I think they just have the better roster, and I think the Cardinals don't figure it out in a way that they have needed to figure it out. I don't think they rise to the occasion today. Packers versus the Bears. I mean, come on, the Packers are unstoppable in the regular season. Mitch Trubisky's been playing lights out, but he's trying to make a case to stay in Chicago past this year, and I just don't think that it happens. Seahawks are going to win at the Niners. They've done so much, the Niners, through this adversity, injuries, and what have you. But, I mean, their season died a few weeks ago, and Seattle's just going to put the final nail in the casket on that one. They'll be back, though. San Fran will be back. Colts are going to win the Jags. I want the Colts and Jags game to be the upset special so bad. So bad. The Jags have won one game this year. It was week 1 against the Colts. They can win this game, the Jags, and still have the number 1 pick. So why not go ball out? Doug Marone's probably on his way out. Go for it on 4th down. Go for 2-point conversions. Make it happen, man. The Colts will be scoreboard watching, but you know what? They don't have a game to look over to when they overlook this Jags team, because their spot in the playoffs is not guaranteed. So they got to get this done, and I think they do. I want to see Phillip Rivers in the playoffs. I just don't think that it happens with the scenario that they need. Titans at Texans. Derrick Henry's chasing 2,000 yards. I think they run him. I think they play him. And I think they get it done at H-Town today. Raiders at Broncos is going to be the lowest rated game of today. It's the who cares game. Play a lot of young guys. I got the Raiders in this one. Chiefs versus Chargers. I know the Chiefs have so much to lose by playing their studs, so they won't. But they still have the firepower to beat the Chargers, who just don't know how to win, how to finish games yet. Chiefs. And then the primetime matchup. Man, I wish the Washington-Philly game was early so we could watch Dallas and New York late. But it is what it is. Alex Smith is playing. It's simple. If Washington wins, they win the division. They're in the playoffs. As much as I'd like the mind-blowing scenario of the Cowboys getting into the playoffs, Washington's going to win. They're going to beat the Eagles, who are shorthanded. Jalen Hurts, I love him, but the cards are stacked against him. Real quick, we didn't talk about last week. Pro Bowl snubs. I know. Only 2 inside linebackers make it to the Pro Bowl. In the NFC, it's Fred Warner, who's a stud, and Bobby Wagner, who's probably going to the Hall of Fame. But Devin White deserved it, man, of the Bucs. 140 tackles, 9 sacks as an inside linebacker. Bobby Wagner, only 126 tackles and 3 sacks. It becomes a popularity contest after a while. NFC wide receivers, Devontae Adams, of course. DK Metcalf, of course. DeAndre Hopkins is in the NFC now. So, of course. But you're telling me that Justin Jefferson gets it over Calvin Ridley? Justin Jefferson, he's been great. But Calvin Ridley has more catches, yards, touchdowns, first downs. Calvin Ridley leads the league in 100-yard receiving games. And he's not making the Pro Bowl. I don't know how this stuff gets figured out. Other NFC snubs, Robbie Anderson and Brian Burns, both of Carolina. There's just not room for everybody. In the AFC, Justin Herbert. J.C. Jackson of the Patriots. Quinnen Williams of the Jets, who's on the IR. James Robinson of the Jags. And Ryan Tannehill. And the tackling machine in Houston, Zach Cunningham. Everybody can't make it. This is your 5-minute warning. This is the warm-up. You got 5 minutes to get your pizza and your wings situated. You got 5 minutes to set your fit. No, you don't. Congrats to everybody who won their fantasy leagues. You got 5 minutes to submit your picks to the weekly designated report Pick'em. If you pick more winners than us, you win a prize. So check that out on the story. And you know what? Before I go, I just want to give a big shout out to all my Falcons fans out there as we play today. I just want the Falcons to remember the good times. Remember y'all won the Super Bowl? Wait, hold on. Ooh. Still too soon? Don't ask me how I got this. I got to connect in Africa. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Make changes for yourself, positive. Set goals and get closer every single day. And remember, a broken crayon still colors. Get it done. Let's color outside the lines in 2021. Blessings to everybody. So much love to everybody in the chat coming through. And we will see you next week for Wild Card Weekend. Enjoy the games today. Much love. Peace.